wrap it up on a few little points that this really relates to everybody, no matter what kind of workout routine you start doing. This is one that kind of got me in the beginning, thinking that more cardio will help me lose fat.
Oh.
So
cardio!
I know people to this day that have been working out for like 10 years probably, and like they eat a candy bar and they're like, well, I'm gonna
go
do some extra running, I'm gonna do some extra cardio or something, and yada yada. Like, okay, it kind of works up to a point, but you can't just keep working off things that you eat. Like, it doesn't work that way. You need to exercise is not punishment for the things that you ate. Quit thinking about it like that.
The attention on
it
this
is
one
not.
is
Yeah, do not use exercise as punishment, because then you just start developing really, really unhealthy habits. Now, it is a tool to get you where you want to go, but cardio in particular is not necessarily going to help you get the body composition that you want. If you want to be lean and you want to look like you have some muscles, you need to lift weights, and you don't even need to add in cardio if you don't want to. Like, you don't have to take fast steps ever if you don't want to. If you can lift some weight, your heart rate is going to get elevated with some of that.
Think about today's workout. The hardest part was the heavy stuff. Yeah,
we're just beating a dead horse with that, but cardio is not the answer. So, if you're thinking like, I need to do more cardio, and then you wind up more hungry because you're doing so much activity, then you're just gonna run into a stop there. And another thing this kind of relates to that is thinking that you'll get bulky from lifting too heavy. I guess I was blessed. Another boomerang.
I've been trying to get bulky since I was 12. I wish it was that easy.
Yeah. It's so many people, man. I hear people say, I want to get my wife in here. I want to get my friend. My friend wants to come. She doesn't want to get too bulky, or like, I've even heard some guys say they didn't want to get too jacked or anything like that. I'm like, I promise you, that's not going to happen.
Bodybuilders get really pissed when you say this, because they work so hard and they eat so much food to get bulky.
I remember how naive I was when I started the gym. I was probably 15 years old, and I'm reading all these muscle magazines. And I look at my mom. Mom, if I ever look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, tell me and I'll stop. I didn't get too bulky for this. It's like,
You really did.
I did. It'll take me, 2 years to get that big?
Some absolute freaks of nature are able to put on muscle mass quicker than others. While some people can lift and lift and lift and eat and barely gain any muscle whatsoever. Genetics plays a huge role in that. But I don't know anybody who has been like, actually, no, I take this back. I do know a couple people, and this personal preference, that's you, that's fine, is whatever, who have said, I started doing XYZ and I was getting a little too bulky, so I stopped. Like, usually they weren't very lean. It's just because they continued to eat more while lifting a lot of weights. And so, like, they got muscular and fat at the same time. That's where that bulky look often comes from. Unless you're taking anabolic steroids, you are not going to look like a physique. That's their sport. They do that. Like, what they do in the bathroom is their own business, but like, it's damn near impossible to get like that without years and years and years of dedication and some assistance.
Very specific training. And I don't know if this applies to the people that you're thinking of, but I've never seen anybody accidentally get too muscular. They accidentally got bulky, whatever that meant, but it wasn't muscle.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was exactly what you described. They started lifting weights and then started eating more because they thought they could, because they were lifting weights, and then they gained weight, and then they're like, oh, I'm gaining too much muscle. I'm like, that's not muscle.
No.
And so, like, you kind of have to be honest with yourself.
And then one last thing I want to throw out there is people thinking that lifting heavy, it always reverts to deadlifting for some reason. Heavy deadlifts are going to cause an injury. Everybody thinks that lifting heavy is bad for you. Not everybody, but a lot of people tend to think that
too many people still think that.
Heavy lifting is dangerous, and it is not dangerous. It's people that have been couch potatoes for 30 years
That go straight
into like trying to do heavy things, or somebody doing it without a trained eye on them to make sure that they're moving correctly, or people who, you know, sometimes people have underlying issues like a disc that is literally just about to rupture, and they take up some sort of exercise routine, and you know, it just happened to be the straw that broke the camel's back. It was going to happen one day when they coughed in a recliner probably. So, you know, sometimes those things happen. If you come in and like all of a sudden you just injure your back really bad, and you go to the doctor and you're like, oh my gosh, all this stuff was wrong. It was all because of CrossFit, because I went there and like, you know, I have all these three disc bulges that popped out when I was working out one day. Like, CrossFit didn't do that in 3 months. Like, that was something that was already there and was going to happen. If you're that worried about it, go have an MRI before you come in. Just like know what you need to look out for.
Know what you're starting with.
Yeah, exactly.
We talked about this back in the COVID conversation. A stronger, healthier, more resilient body is going to heal better from anything, disease or illnesses, things like that. If you have a stronger, healthier body, you're going to recover from that better. It's high time that myth dies.
Can die already.
Yeah.
One story.
Ooh, let's hear it.
I remember reading it, I don't know where. It's not my story, but on how, you know, a stronger, more resilient body will help you, or, you know, survive. I don't know if the word's not survive, but with other stuff. This article was CrossFit saved my life.
Yeah.
And this girl got into a car accident.
Was it Miranda Oldroyd?
Was that the one? Basically her strong traps and neck muscles.
I think that was Miranda.
Saved her.
Yeah, I mean, like legitimately,
Yeah.
like having strong muscles helped her survive. Like if not, it'd be like shaking baby shit in her neck.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Miranda Oldroyd was one of the earlier games athletes. Maybe it was like 2011 or 2012, but she's a strong girl. You can look her up. But she was in a car crash. I think she got rear-ended, and they checked her out at the scene. Everything. They thought everything was okay, and so she went back to work. And like 5 days later, she was talking about how she was having these headaches, and then I think after a week, she went to. And I'm paraphrasing this story. If you read the story online and it's wrong, don't kill me. But it was a while later. She went to the doctor and said, hey, I've been having these headaches, and then so they gave her an x-ray or MRI or whatever, and her vertebrae were cracked, like her something in her neck was broken.
Something that could have killed you.
Yes, something in her neck was broken, and they said you should not be alive right now, and you definitely shouldn't be walking right now, but because she had muscle in her traps and her shoulders and her neck, it had held everything together, and like the worst it was headaches. So they freaked out and they put her in the neck brace thing, which was good, obviously. Like they needed to stabilize things, but the fact of the matter remains, she walked around for damn near a week with a broken neck, and the worst she had was a headache because she had a strong, resilient body, and it kept everything together. It kept her spine together. It describes why we're here, why we're doing all of this, because the whole reason why I'm doing this is I'm wanting to age gracefully. I refuse to go out in a wheelchair. I'm trying to build my strength and keep my strength as an old man so that I can continue my mobility. I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to climb the stairs. I want to kick ass when I'm in my 70s and 80s and however long I'm alive. I don't want to be some frail individual that other people have to take care of. And of course, I could get hit by a car and something could go wrong, but I'm determined to take care of myself as much as I can. It's hard to have fun when you're just stuck in a chair. So let's wrap it up there.
That was fun.
All right.
Almost everybody has bulging discs, by the way. Like, all three of us sitting right here probably have some level of a bulging disc. Like, that's just a matter of fact. Everybody has it. You can train with it. You can be strong as shit with it. Like,
it doesn't mean you have a back
problem. It doesn't mean you have a bad back.